Technically, it might have been in the war because it was a Hollywood star. This is a track Jeep. It's a prototype vehicle that was intended to be used for light reconnaissance. So late 1942, they were looking for that idea of going to an air-portable vehicle to be used in intercommunication so it can run back and forth, something a little bit smaller than a universal carrier or an armored car. They make a prototype here in Ottawa. They don't really like it when it goes to evaluations. They go back to Willys and basically say, make us a prototype, and this is what they will evaluate up in Ottawa. Ultimately, there were only 10 kind of prototypes that were built. A couple get sent to England. Originally, when it came out, they thought it was going to be great because of how thin the track was on it. It had a really good little footprint, lightweight vehicle. They thought it'd be perfect for the Pacific. The problem with this is it was just a little too big for some of the aircraft, and you would have to disassemble the toolbox and the fender. By the time it comes out, it's now 44 and it's too late. They decide never to go into production. 2 people that would operate in this particular vehicle. The driver controls the levers like a bulldozer to lock up the steering. You would have your small machine gun, light machine gun here, but then lock back when you didn't want it in position. There's a 19-set radio here for communication. They had a fair amount of trouble, I would say, with the suspension. It's got a fairly small tooth, so you'd always have to make sure your track is nice and tight. The Jeep engine and radiator are here. As you can see, your exhaust is kind of fairly close to your operator, but it is what it is. This vehicle was never used in the war. We acquire it from the owner who was actually using it in movies. So if you're looking at the film, The Dirty Dozen, this drives by in the movie. This being a prototype and in good condition, when it was acquired, it hasn't been through any form of restoration. It was kind of still maintained in the condition that we received it in. This is the only one that is known to survive. We're featuring this particular prototype because that whole idea of research and development gets passed over a lot. For every product that was developed, there are probably 8 or 9 other versions that don't get produced. It's a good example of that forward thinking. It just came out a little too late.